Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I will talk about how to create Express entry profile. And to do that, you may require certain documents such as your language test results, your ECA document, your NOC code and job title and your personal details. So guys, before I start, please do subscribe my YouTube channel for the latest videos and updates about Canada PR. And please write your queries in the comment section of this video. And click on the like button if you like the video. Okay, so let's start. And so let's open the google.com first and let's type create express entry profile. Okay, and now let's open the first link. So this is the official website of Government of Canada where you can submit your express entry profile. Fine, then you click on the create or sign in into your account. Okay, and then there are two options. So the option number one is you have to do the sign in with GC key, user ID and password, and another option is sign in with the partner. So this is for the banking or some other partners. As a candidate, we have to go with the option 1. So if you have already created your express entry profile, you can do sign in with this option. But as a first time user, we have not created our profile yet. So we have to click over here. Okay, we don't have the account at this time. We don't have this user ID and the password. So we click on the register. Okay, then let's scroll down here and let's click on the register with GC key. Now let's wait what information it will ask us. Okay, then it will ask you for the username and password. As a first time user, we don't have this, so we do the sign up. So that's why we click on the sign up. Okay, and then we have to read this terms and conditions. So we are going to click on the I accept. We are not going to read that. Fine, and then you need to create one username and password for your profile. Okay, so let me create one username for the demonstration. Let's say I will create Canada PR info 98. Okay, so you can see that all the conditions for the username is satisfied and all the conditions are in the tick green color, right? So that is, otherwise you will not be allowed to move to the next web page. Okay, so this is my username is Canada PR info 98. Just click on the continue. So it will go to the next page. It will ask you for the password and these are the its checklist. So let me type one password which will match all the criteria. Okay, so I'm not going to speak that. Okay, so let me just quickly write so we can move further. Okay, so you can see all the criteria are matched now. So let's click on the continue. We don't want to save the password. Okay, so now let's these are the some recovery questions, guys. This is very much important because this profile you will use it for the very long time. So it may be possible that you will not remember these questions for the long amount of time. So it is better that you should note down this question in one Excel sheet, including your GC key, user ID, password, recovery question, everything you have to note down. So later on if you want to recover it, you can recover it easily. Okay, so let's click on the first question. Let's write answer. My person, memorable person, let's say Mr. Modi is our prime minister. Fine, because of that we are in our house since last 3 months. Okay, memorable date. So let's say me write 2020 03/22. It is a date of lockdown in India. Fine, this is just for the information, so I can write anything. You can write as per your need. Okay, now just click on the link, continue. Okay, so now your sign up is complete, means now you have the GC key, sign up, user ID and the password. So now you can do the login with this user ID and password and complete your profile. Okay, so you remember your username and password, and let's click on the continue. Okay, so now let's say it will be redirected to the terms and condition. Again, we are not going to read that. Let's click on the I accept, and then it will ask you some information. Let's say I will write some name. Let's say as I am an Indian user, so I will write any Indian name. Fine, let's say my name is Janil and last name is Patel. Okay, let's say for email, let's say I will write one test email, and preferred languages I will use, let's say, English. Okay, let's click on the continue. Then again, for security questions, find few security questions that you have to design. So let's say you can write about your pet, as we have discussed earlier. So you can write, let's say my pet name is Sweetie. You can, there are 5 questions you have to write, so quickly you can write. Let's say your favorite actor, let's say Salman. I know it is a very bad choice, right? STRE. Favorite actress, let's write Alia. Okay, then let's say one more is favorite person. Okay, so let's quickly write, it's Modi. Okay, let's write only Alia, so that will help you, because this will be asked. If we will forget, then we will not be allowed to submit our profile. So fine, I hope you remember these questions. Okay, let's click on the continue. Okay, and you can see this is our account, Janil Patel account, and these are the application. If you have submitted any applications over here, then it will be listed right now. In order to start an application, you have to click over here, apply to come to Canada. So let's click over here. Now those who have used come to Canada tool in order to check the eligibility, fine, so then you can write your personal reference code over here, and few information will be popped up automatically. Fine, so for that, if you don't know whether you are eligible or not, you can watch my previous video how to check your eligibility in 10 minutes, and if you are eligible, you will get the personal reference code, and you can directly paste this code over here. But it is okay at this point. If you don't have the personal reference code, then also you can create your express entry profile, and you can create your profile through this link. So here you have to first determine the eligibility, and then you have to apply online. So let's say in order to create express entry profile, let's click on express entry. Okay, then it will ask you some questions. Let's say in which province that you want to live. Let's say I want to live in Ontario, so let me click on the next. Then it will ask you for whether you have taken any language test. Okay, so let's assume that you have given IELTS, and let's click on the next. Then it will ask you for the when did you give this test. So you have given it recently, so 2020 in February, and let's say month is 6th February. Let's click on the next. And how much band did you get? Okay, you got a very good band. Let's assume 9.5. You got 9. You got 9 in reading and 8.5 in writing. Okay, so just click on the next. Then it will ask you for, do you have any other language test result. So as we do not have any current other test language result, so simply I will write none. Okay, so now it will ask you for the how many years of experience in Canada. Fine. So if you have any work experience in Canada, you have to write. Fine. But usually as a FSW skilled worker, those who are applying from outside Canada, we should not have this work experience. Fine. So in Canada we do not have any work experience, so we select none. Fine. And if you do not have any Canadian work experience during this period, please choose none of the above. So let's simply select none of the above and let's click on the next. Okay. Now in last 10 years, how many years of skilled work experience? So this include work experience outside Canada also. Fine. So let's I assume that I am having experience of 6 years or more, right? And in the last 5 years, if you have any work experience in the skill trade means NOC-B. Fine. So if your NOC is listed in somewhere over here, then you have to say yes. But I assume that I do not belongs to under this NOC-B category, so let's I click on none. I do not have any experience of this NOC. Fine. My NOC is, let's say it belongs to in some 0 or A. Okay. So let's click on the next. Then it will ask you that how much money that you will bring. So let's I assume that I will take around $20,000. And how many family members? Let's say I am having 3 family members. So let's click on the next. Then do you have a valid job offer? No, it is difficult to find out the job offer, so let's click on the next. Fine. What is your date of birth? So let me write a date of birth. Let's see, any no date. Let me write, this is 1928 May 7th. So fine, I am writing any random date, and then it will ask you for the what is highest level of education that you have earned. Fine. And that is shown in your educational credential assessment, means whatever the ECA that you have obtained from the designated organization like WS or CES, then they have given the equivalency. So what is that equivalency? So let's say I assume that I am having the equivalency up to master degree. Fine. You did bachelor degree as well as the master degree. Fine. So let's assume that I am equivalency highest degree is my master degree. So let's just click on the next. Okay. Then you have to say that have you studied full time in Canada, you have any work experience, or you have any relative. Fine. So I simply say that none of the above. Just click on the next. If you have anything, you can click on that. Your marital status, let's say married. Let's click on the next. Fine. Your spouse, or does your spouse or partner plan to come with you? Yes, we are going to migrate Canada with family, so let's click on the yes. Your spouse is permanent resident? No. If our spouse is permanent resident, then we are not going to fill this form, our spouse will do that for us. Okay. Has your spouse studied in Canada? No. Has your spouse worked in Canada? No. Just click on the next. Okay. Has your spouse or partner has given the English language test? Let's yes, spouse has the English language ability and she has given the language test in 2020 in January. Let's keep it the date before us. Ladies first. Okay. Next. And then it will ask you for the score. Let's assume that the language ability in each section is 6. So let me select 6 in each section, so it is equivalent to CLB 7. Okay. And you can see this is the eligibility criteria. So it seems that based on the answers, you appears to be eligible for the express entry, means the whatever the answers that we have provided, based on that you are eligible for the express entry. So till now this is just an eligibility criteria. Fine. So now as it seems that you are eligible, and now let's click on the continue. So now it will ask you for the further information to create the express entry profile. Fine. So let me write some detail. Let me the last name and first name is, let's say, Janil. Your gender is male. Date of birth is already popped up as we have written earlier, so click on the next quickly. Okay, your marital status, again let's say it is married, so click on the next. Okay, and will this person accompany with you? Okay, yes, so click on the next, and then you should write some information about the spouse. Fine, so spouse name is, let's me write an Indian name, let's say one Nirali, and let's say its family name it is asking, so let me write Patel first, and then let me write any name. Fine, and what is your spouse gender? So spouse gender is female, and date of birth. Okay, so as I have selected, my date is 1988, so let's select 1990 March, and let's say 5th March. Let's click on the next. Alright, so this is very simple, so you can do it guys, you're by own. It's not difficult. I hope you can understand. Okay, so let's click on the next, and then it will ask you for the further details. So you can see this is your express entry profile, and here you need to fill all your personal details, contact details, study and language details, application details, any representative details, any work history. Fine, similarly as we have listed that you are married, then you have to also give the information about your spouse. Fine, and you can see this is, it is showing the status indicates that this section is not started, and if you want to start that form, then you can click over here, right? So let's, without wasting a time, let's click on the personal details. Okay, so first it will ask you for some personal details. Okay, so let's wait. Once the web form will load, then we can start writing our personal details. Okay, so this, you see this information is already there, so just click on the next. Fine, then it is, you ask you for country of birth, so country of birth is India. Then let's say your town or city of birth, let me write Bombay. Just click on the next. Your marital status, let's say it is married, we have already noted this. Then it will ask you for your passport details. Okay, do you have a valid passport? Let me select yes, and it will ask you, you can select the passport, or if you don't have the passport, you can use any national identity documents. Fine, you may use Aadhaar card too. Fine, let me write any some random number, and 1 2 3 4 5 6. Let's say this is my passport number, and country of issue is, let's say, India. Issue date, it was issued in, let's say, 2019 in the month of February, and let's say this is my issue date. Expiry date is, let's say, after let me select any 2025 July and 12. This is my expiry date, and you have to click on save and add. As you click on the save and add, this information will be appear over here, right? And if you want to do any modification, then again you have to click over here, modify, and again this information will be shown over here. Let's say if my passport number is wrong, so let me, I will modify it, and after doing the modification, again I have to click on save and add. So this will be, update will be changed. Okay, so this is your passport details. Now let's click on the next. Okay, so now have you applied to IRCC before? Means, have you ever applied to IRCC, like in express entry profile, or if you have applied for study permit, then you have to select yes. Fine, so let's see, for example, if I select yes, then what information it will ask you. Has Janil applied for express entry? So you can write yes or no if you have applied earlier. Fine. And then it will ask you for UCI, unique client identification number. If you have applied earlier, then this number is given to you. Fine. But as a first time user, let's assume that we have not applied, so we do not need to provide any of this information. But if you have applied, please do not forget to mention over here, because each and every profile will be linked based on your UCI number. So IRCC will able to track all the information based on your UCI number and the passport number. Fine. So please do not do the mistake. Okay. So now country is, let's say, India. Country of resident, currently I am also, let's say you are residing. You can write whatever your country, if you are in Dubai, New Zealand, Brazil, whatever the country that you have. Okay. Let's click on the next. Then it will ask you for some family information. How many family members so as we have listed, we have 3 family members, and how much money that you will bring. So let me write some exact number. Let's say I will bring 20,000 Canadian dollars when I will land into the Canada. Okay. So do you have any relative who is a permanent resident or Canadian citizen? So I will write no. If you have any citizen, then you have to, if you write yes, then you will have to provide some details. Okay, who is the your relative, and some where he is or she is living. Okay, so as first time, let's assume that we don't have any relative, and let's simply click on the 7 exit. So this will exit in the first section, and as you can see, the status of this first section is now complete. It means that all the required details for this section is completed, and now you can proceed further. If you want to update the form, again you can click on the update, and you can update the details if you find any mistakes later on. Okay, so without wasting a time, let's click on the another form, that is a contact details. Fine. In the contact details, it is very simple. You have to choose your language of correspondence. So let me select English. All the communication will be in the English language by the IRCC. Fine. And here you have to provide the communication email address. So let's click on the save and exit. So you can see this second section is also completed, contact section. Now third section, study and languages. This is one of the most important sections. So let's see what information they ask. So let's say first they will ask you for the, you have completed any school or higher education. So we have to say yes. Fine. Do not do the mistake over here. Fine. So then click on the next. Okay, I think we need to provide the details. Let's say if you let's say you click on the yes. Okay, then you need to provide the detail of your education, but I think there is a problem. I can see we need to provide our education details, so I cannot load this. Let me just try it again. Okay, so let me just try it again. So let's say I have completed my education, so this will ask you your education details. Okay, so see, this is, sometimes it may happen that because of load in the server, some information will not be popped up. Fine. So it is better that you understand all the fields very well. So as I have clicked on the yes, this information will be popped up. Okay, now it will ask you for the field of study. Let's assume that I have completed computing IT. Let's assume that I have completed my master degree in computer engineering. Okay, so I am a guy or computer guy, so I in IT field, so I can select this. You can select your field of study. Okay, and since what year you have studying. Let's say for example, I will write I am started studying in 2006 July, and this is my current study. No, this is not my current study. Fine. So then it will ask you for the end date. Let's say I have completed my bachelor of computer engineering, which is a 4-year program, so it will be completed in the 2010. So this is 2006 to 2010, which is my 4-year academic year program. So this is complete or full academic year, so 4 years. It is a full time or part time, so let's select the full time. Okay, and standing at the end of study period, so you will be awarded a certificate, or you are not awarded the certificate, or you have not completed. Fine, so obviously we have completed everything, so we write this certificate or diploma or degree awarded, means you completed this degree. Okay, then your country of study, if you have obtained it, let's say I obtained it from India, so I'll write that. And town of study, let me write I have completed everything from the Bombay, and you can write the any institution name. Let me write simply random number ABC at this point, and level of education. Fine, as this is my bachelor degree, so it will be considered as the bachelor degree, same, so I will select it is my bachelor degree. And was this degree is a Canadian degree or diploma or certificate. Fine, so it may be possible that you studied in the outside India or in Canada, then you have to select yes. But as I have obtained this degree outside Canada, so I have to select no. Fine, the reason they are asking is if you have studied outside Canada, then you have to do ECA, like educational credential assessment. Fine, so if you have not studied in Canada, then you have to select no, and then you have to provide your details of your ECA, educational credential assessment. Okay, so have you completed your ECA? The question answer is yes, as I discussed earlier, you have to complete it before to create your express entry profile. Fine, then it will ask you for the which organization, so you can see these are the valid organizations for the ECA. I assume I did my educational credential assessment from the WES. Okay, and then let's say when it was issued, let's say it was issued in 2019 June, and the date is 7th, and let's say this is your ECA certificate number. This is one of the most important thing. Fine, so let me just show you what is your ECA certificate number. Fine, ECA certificate, so let's say this is a sample report, and on this particular part here the reference number is given. So this reference number is nothing but it is your ECA certificate number. Fine, so open your ECA certificate for WES and just find out your ECA reference ECA certificate number. So let me just write any random number, and usually it ends with IMM. Okay, and then it will ask you for that what is the level of education as per the Canadian equivalency. Fine, so if it is a bachelor, then you will be allocated a bachelor degree equivalency. If you have any other degree, then equivalency is mentioned in the ECA report. Okay, so then you have to just click on the save and add. So it is very similar that we did earlier, so all the information will be added over here. See, computer IT field 2006 to 2010, country of study, name of school, level of education. You can modify the details if you want. Fine, so as I assume that I have also completed master degree. Fine, so this master degree may be in Canada or maybe outside Canada. Fine, so I assume that I have again completed my high school higher education, and let me click the field of studies again, computing or information technology, and let's say I started this after completion of my bachelor degree. So in 2010 in July I have started it, and let's say this is not my current study, and I completed in 2012 and in the month of June. Okay, again it is a full academic year, so let's say I have 2 full academic years. Again it is a full-time study, and I have also awarded the certificate, degree or diploma, so I received the certificate. And the country of study, again I assume that I studied in India, and I also completed it from the Bombay. Okay, and let me write the institution name. Let's say this is the institution name that I have obtained. Fine. Level of education, so this time my level of education is master degree, as I have completed the master. And then you have to say that whether this degree is awarded in Canada or not. It means it is a Canadian degree or not. So again I assume that it is not an Canadian degree. Fine. So if it is not an Canadian degree, you must provide the ECA. So have you done the ECA? Yes, I have done the ECA for that. And which is the organization? Again let me select. It is a VAS. When it was done, again let's say I done. You can write the same date. I forgot the exact date, but you can write the whatever the date when you completed your ECA. So when this report was issued, so it is also mentioned in the ECA report. Then you can write again certificate number which ends with IMM. And this time what is your equivalency? Your equivalency is the master degree. Okay, and just click on the save and add. So you can see that there are two rows. First row is for the bachelor degree, for another row is for the master degree. If you have completed PhD, doctorate, again you can add these details, fine. But right now, to reduce the time of this video, let's do not add the more details. I hope you got the things how to do it. Okay, let's click on the next. Okay, and let's you have to ask, it will ask you for that which in language that you use for the communication. So let's say we prefer in English, and for that have you given any language test? Yes, we have given the IELTS. And which version that you have given? So guys, for become PR you have to give the IELTS general training, fine. And which is the date? As we have given the date earlier, so it is already mentioned, fine. When the results were there, result date is also mentioned in the TRF, right? So you can select 2020 February. Usually it is after 2 weeks, so let me just select 20, fine. So 6, so it is 20, so this is my date of result. And language test result number, so this is also one of the most important thing, fine. If any immigration officer or visa officer, they want to check whether this English language test is valid or not, they can check with this TRF number and from the information that you provided. Same is applicable for the VAS. Based on your WAS reference number, they can check in the online whether the educational credential assessment that you have provided in the express entry profile, which is official or not. And definitely this is going to be checked when you submit your express entry profile. So guys, please do not do any mistake in writing your ECA number and WS number. I hope this will be clear, fine. And to find out your IELTS TRF number, I have taken one sample screenshot, fine, of IELTS result, and this is the TRF number which will be written over here, fine. So you can find out your TRF number, and you can write any random number at this point, fine. And let's say these are the bands that I have received, and we do not have any other approved language test. Okay, so let's just click on the save and exit. Okay, so you can see that now how many sections we have completed. We have completed 3 sections, right? Now click on the fourth one, application details. Okay, so in application details you have to say that you want to migrate in which province or which territories, fine. So if you have any specific province where you want to live, you can choose it. And if you are open with all the provinces, so you can open to the all the province, click this option, all provinces and territories, fine. And it has one benefit. The benefit is like it will ask you that British Columbia and Ontario do the specific draws for particular NOC codes, and for that they need to access your information of express entry profile. Fine, so they are asking you the consent whether British Columbia province can access your details through this express entry profile, and can they send you the invitations to apply. Fine, similarly for the Ontario too. Fine, so simply if you are okay with any province, just click on the all provinces and territories and just provide the yes. Okay, they can see our profile, and if they found your profile matches with their province criteria, then they may give you the provincial nomination, okay, under the PNP program. Or if you do not have any certain criteria, you can fix the particular province and you should select the no. Then you let's click on the next, and it will ask you for have you received any nomination certificate, means do you have any PNP certificate. So let's say initially as a first time user we do not have that, so let's click on the next and let's click on the save and exit. Okay, so now let's see that the fourth section is also completed. Now the fifth one is that I do not like representative. Fine, so I personally believe that you should not keep representative of your profile. You should be your own boss about your profile. Fine, so but however if you have kept the representative or your immigration consultant, you have to write the details of that. Fine, but I believe that let's as a first time user, as a novice user, I do not have any representative, so I simply select a no and just click on the save and exit. Okay, so this section is also completed. Now this is the last section for the first candidate or primary candidate, and that is a work history, and this is also one of the most important part in your express entry profile. So let's see what information will be asked in this section. So here first you have to provide your primary occupation. So as you know, the primary occupation means based on this NOC code your profile will be processed. Fine, your main code. Fine, and this you know the how to find the NOC code, and if you don't know that, I have already made one video on this, how to find your NOC code, so you can watch my YouTube channel and subscribe it if you like the video. Okay, so let's I assume that I have already done the research about my NOC code, and let me select my NOC code is, let's say 2173. Let me select 2173, and that is for software engineers. So this is my primary occupation, and when this first means Janil Patel become the qualified to practice in this occupation, means when you are qualified to do the practice or do the job under this profession. Fine, so obviously when you complete your bachelor degree, after that you are eligible to do the practice. Fine, but as you have done the masters continuously, so you can write the any of the date which is after your graduation. Fine, so let's say assume that I have completed my bachelor degree in 2010 and in June, so I will be eligible from the July. Fine, so to become the software engineer under this NOC. Okay, so here you can write date after your graduation, when you are eligible to do job under this occupation. Fine, so I hope this will be clear. Just click on the next. Fine, do you have any certificate of qualification from Canadian province or territory, means do you have any trade certificate or any other certification that you require. Fine, so some occupations may require some trade certificate. Fine, and that you have to acquire by applying in the province. So if you have anything, you can just click on the yes. So it may ask you some additional details. Okay, so which territory, which is the occupation, and when you obtain this, but let's assume that my occupation is not in the not require the license, so I will click on the no and just click on the next. Fine, do you have a valid job offer? No, just click on the next, and then it will ask you, do you have any work history? Yes, we have the work history. Okay, and then after this you will have to provide your work history details. Okay, so let's say I assume that I completed my master's degree in 2012. So after that I have started doing work. So let's say from 2012 to July I have started, and let's say I completed my first job 2016 June. Okay, and let's say how many hours per week. So let's assume that I have completed 40 hours per week. And what is your 4-digit NOC code? My 4-digit NOC code is 2173. Fine, so please do not do the mistake to select your NOC. Fine, and what is your job title? Let's say my job title is junior software engineer. Okay, your company name, let's say company name is XYZ. You can write your employer company details. Fine, in company is in, let's say, in India, and let's say town is Bombay. Okay, just click on the save and add. Okay, so you can see this details will be listed over here, but still you can see I have written my work experience up to 2016 and June. So again I have to select that this is already yes, so I have to add the another work experience. So let's say 2016 to July I am doing the job, and currently I am in the same job, so I will not write the end date. And this is how many hours per work? 40. NOC code is again same NOC code 2173. Job title is, now let's I assume that I am promoted to the higher position, so senior software developer. Okay, fine, and your company name is again, maybe you will be in some other company or in the same company. Fine, if you are self-employed you can tick this option. Your country, you can select the country, and again the town is, let's assume that again I did in the Bombay. So let's click on the save and add. Okay, so this information is added. As you can see, the end date is not mentioned because we have written that this is my current job. Fine, so if you have any number of jobs you can add that many number of jobs. Fine, and later on when you get the ITA you will have to provide the documents, work experience letters and other supporting documents for this all the work experience that you have shown, right? So just click on the next, and now this section is only for the research purpose. There is no any relation with your express entry profile, so IRCC wants to use this information for the research purpose. So are you interested to give the answer? So you can select yes, let them do the research on us. So have the question is, have you looked a job in Canada or in your primary occupation, or what best describes that last action you took? So these are the action. Fine, have you seen that about the job in your primary occupations? Means have you done any research about that? So they want to understand that how much research that you are doing. So let's say you can select I have done some of the research if you have done. Fine, and have you checked that whether your occupation is having under the any licensure, any requirement or not? So you can select yes, and let's say you can select any appropriate options. Okay, what you have, from where you got to know, friend or any immigration or visa officers. Fine, and then some jobs are regulated in Canada, you need license or certification. Fine, so you are aware with this. Okay, so let's click on the yes, and I am aware with the license procedure. And so what you did for that? So I contacted and sent the details, or you can say completed all the assignments, passed the oral, written, practical examinations. Okay, so you simply click on the save and exit. This is just for the research purpose, so there is no relation with your express entry profile. So you can see now all the sections are completed with respect to the first member of your application, means primary member. Now for the spouse, let's quickly complete it. for some information, and then we can submit our express entry profile. Okay, so let's say will this person will be accompanying, so let's we select yes, this person is also going to come with us, and few information will be popped up automatically. So you can see, let's click on the next. This is already filled up. Fine. And so country of birth of the spouse, then let's assume that she has also born in Bombay, and they will ask you that is Nirali Patel has any Canadian permanent citizen or resident, a permanent resident or citizen. So let's click on the no. Okay, then they ask you that is your spouse has any relative who is Canadian permanent resident or citizen. So let's select no and click on the save and exit. Okay, then you have to provide the information about study and languages. Fine, so it is a very similar detail that you have provided in your education. Fine, in your section. So let's see what it will ask in this section. Fine, so you have to provide first that whether your spouse has completed any higher education or not. So let's we start with the simply by clicking the yes. So let's wait once the web form will open. Okay, so let's say it is open now, so let's click on the yes, and let's say it is field of study. What is your field of study of your spouse? So let's assume that she has also completed Bachelor of Computer Engineering. You were classmates, fine, and she was your girlfriend in your college, so you enjoyed a lot. So let's write the same date. Let's say she also started 2006 in June, and she completed her bachelor degree in 2010 in the month of June. Okay, let's write July over here. Okay, and she completed full academic years 4. It is a full-time study, and the certificate is awarded. Country of study is, let's say, India. Okay, then the city and the school or the university name. Level of education, it is a bachelor degree, and whether it is a Canadian degree or not, so obviously we are going to say no. Okay, so if you have done the if you have done the ECA for your spouse, then you can select yes, otherwise no. Fine, however it is not essential, so let's, for a simplicity, I am doing the no. Fine, so for that you will not get the points, but it is okay for this point. Fine, if you have done the ECA for your spouse, you can select yes, and similar information that you have to provide as we have entered in your section. Okay, so let's click on the save and add. Okay, just click on the next, and then it will ask you for the English language test. Okay, and for the English language test, let's write she has given the IELTS, and let's select the IELTS, and which version. Again, she has given this. She has given the test on 2020 February, and in the month of 4th date, the result date is also 2020 in the February, and the result date will be after the 14 days, so 18th February, and then your test result number and how many bands she got. So let's assume she got 6 band in each section, so let's select the 6. Okay, and any other language test. Okay, so let's select the no, so we don't have any other language test. Okay, so now let's just save and exit. Okay, so now the last section is left. Fine, again the similar information that you have to provide for your spouse work experience history, but for a simplicity, what I will do, I will just select that spouse has no work history. Fine, she is just a homemaker, fine, but however you can write the yes and you can enter the details. Okay, so let's click on the save and exit, and as you can see now all the sections are completed. Okay, so it's a very big achievement. Then all the tick marks that are done, and you can see there is a one option is also ready, and this option is you can now continue. So let's click on the continue, fine, and then it will ask you for some declaration. You have to read some rules, and definitely we are not going to read that. Just click on the I agree, and it will ask you for the given name. So let's say my name is Janil and last name is Patel. Okay, pet name is Sweetie. So this is the question that will be asked when you do the sign in. Fine, so we are going to sign it. Just click on the sign, and then it will ask you for the signature. And for the signature, yes, it is I agree, and as you click on the transmit, your information that you have written in the express entry, that will be transferred to the server. So let's click on the transmit. Okay, so now this information will be transmitted, and you see the message, congratulations, you have successfully submitted your express entry application, or you have successfully completed your profile, right? So more information you will get in your profile very soon. Now just click on the exit questionnaire, and let's come back. Let's click on the I accept, and you will see that your favorite person is, who is our favorite person? Mr. Modi. Okay, and you can see this. Okay, this process that we have created, and your application name, the date is the recent date that we have submitted, and it is processing the submission. Fine, so as your application is submitted, you will see your express entry profile number, which is very essential and that you will be required to write many places. Fine, so once it would be done, it would be available. Fine, so just let's wait for a while whether it is available or not. Here you can see this. So you can see your status is updated, your profile is updated, and this is your application number. Fine, and you can withdraw the profile from here. You can check the full application status. Fine, so you will see here later on, after few hours, your profile is active. You will get some temporary UCI number, profile number, and some other information. Fine, and also you will see that how many CRS point that you are having. So all the information will be listed over here, and also you will receive some of the messages. So welcome to Express Entry Profile. You register your profile in the job bank to receive the job offers. So that is also not mandatory, but we can do that if you want to do. Fine, and whenever you want to get invitation, you will get the invitation in this profile. Fine, so I think I have created the profile, and you know this, how to create the profile now. Fine, so guys, please write your queries in the comment section if you have. Okay, and please do not subscribe, please do not forget to subscribe my channel for the latest videos and updates about Canada PR. Okay, thank you.